Hey friend, today I wanted to show you how you can live stream the output of your X32 or M32 to the internet using programs like OBS. This can be super useful if you use the console to run live sound for a venue and you want to live stream the shows, or maybe you use the console to run live sound for worship service, something like that. Either way, no matter what your use case is, I'm going to show you how you can live stream the output of the X32 to the internet using OBS. Before we jump into the tutorial, please consider subscribing to the channel so you can help me grow it and so you don't miss any new videos like this one. Thanks. So there's only one prerequisite here, which is that your console is on version 4 of the firmware or greater. So to check that, you can go over to Setup and you can note the firmware version here. So mine's 4.06, which I believe is the latest at the time of filming. So I'm not going to go into how to update the console in this video, but I'll leave a link down below for how you can update each console. All right, so let's talk about how this actually works. OBS is able to stream audio from any USB audio device, but it's limited to only the first 2 channels. So for multi-channel consoles like the X32 or the M32, OBS can only see the first 2 channels in the USB output. So our live streaming setup is going to take advantage of the new user output blocks from firmware version 4 to route the main outputs to the USB channels 1 and 2. The first thing that we're going to want to do is go over to the routing tab, and then we're going to tab all the way over to the user section, and then we're going to click in the dial, make sure we have the output blocks selected. So this is where we're going to select what we actually want to send to OBS. OBS is going to be able to access whatever we put in output 1 and 2 here, these first 2 blocks. So we just want to assign whatever output from the mixer we actually want to send over to OBS. So in my case, I have the main set up on output 11. So I have out 1 is mapped to output 11, and then user out 2 is mapped to output 12. I know the nomenclature can get kind of confusing. These are user outputs. These are the console outputs that you configure from the output tab. So after we've configured what outputs we want to send to OBS, we're going to page back to the left and get to the card tab. And then what we're going to do is make sure blocks 1 through 8 on our card out are set to user out 1 through 8. And what that will effectively do is take those first 2 user slots and make them show up on outputs 1 and 2 of the card, the first 2 channels on the USB interface. So when you go and select the X32 or M32 in OBS, it will be able to see the audio from those 2 channels and those 2 channels alone. So one limitation you may have realized now is now you're confined to using the user outputs for card outs 1 through 8. So if we go back over to the user routing blocks, you'll see that I've actually filled out 3 through 8 with something that's useful for me. But you want to make sure that, if you want to take advantage of the full 32 channel audio interface while you're live streaming, like perhaps you're doing a multi-track recording in Pro Tools alongside your live stream, you'll want to come back here and remap these outputs to something useful. So now we'll just take a look at the settings in OBS. Super simple. You just need to make sure that you have the X Live set up as any one of your microphone outputs. I have it set up super simple here where it's like literally the only thing. And now we can just play something back through the X32. I just have this little loop here, and you can see it showing up right here in OBS. So that's it, super simple. If you found the video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like this, subscribe to the channel. If you didn't like the video, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you'd like to see next time. Otherwise, see you soon.